Welcome back, Chronics, and thanks for joining me. And today we're talking about the never-ending story of my stomach saga. Good news and bad news. I didn't have an appointment with the doctor for another 6 months, but because I kept calling, I had one last week. Bad news, they are unwilling to do anything to help. Are we shocked? Nope, not me. I'm not shocked. Long story short, as I can make it, this was the head of endoscopy, so my whole thing is I believe I have small gallstones that you cannot see on an ultrasound or an MRCP. So I would like an ERCP or an EUS to see if there are stones down there. Even small stones, for us, feel like giant boulders. Doctors don't really understand that, even if they know about EDS, so therein lies the problem. Let's quickly review. We are not normal. We have different collagen, so it's almost like we're made up of a totally different material. We present differently than normal people. That makes sense, right? It doesn't make sense to the doctors. They're expecting us to present like normal people. So if they can't see the gallstones, they're not there. Doesn't mean they're not there. Here's an example. Guy with EDS ends up in the emergency room with a high fever. His blood cell count is off the wall. It's looking like really bad appendicitis, but when the doctor presses on the appendix, he doesn't feel pain. That's what you need for it to be appendicitis, the checklist. Even though he wasn't feeling pain to touch, I think he just had that intuitive feeling. You know how it is, that just something is very wrong and someone needs to go in there and look at it immediately. Thank goodness he convinced his doctor to go in and open him up, or his appendix would have exploded and he would have become septic. So, kudos to that doctor, who afterwards was like, well, good thing we went in, because 5 more seconds, kaboom. So yeah, I would say we present differently. So even if I have tiny gallstones under 3 millimeters, most people can pass those, but we can't. They can aggravate our gallbladder so much that it just starts throwing out extra acid, bile acid, which is why the cholesterol I take helps a little. Excuse me. I said a little, not totally. This doctor was great in that he asked if I could get rid of one symptom, what would it be? And I said, the debilitating cramping that happens after I eat a significant amount of fat. I usually know what that threshold is, but sometimes I go over and I suffer. He ends up prescribing me an antispasmodic for my intestines. So, that cramping won't occur, except to try the medication, I have to get to that cramping stage, and then when it doesn't work, I'm screwed. I don't think I'm going to try the drug because I don't think I'm having spasms. Call it a gut feeling. So, here's the epiphany that I had. I'm going to have to see some kind of specialist who is already on board with EDS, knows the symptoms, is a specialist, so I don't have to convince them that it exists. But for those doctors, you've got to pay out of pocket and go out of state. So that's why I really was trying to figure this out in Massachusetts, because that's where I have health insurance. But at this point, no one's going to believe me that I could have these, even though an EDS doctor I've talked to said it was very likely. No one believes that either. So I'm going down to Rhode Island, little Rhodey, back to where I went to college. I went to Providence College, so I kind of know the area. And this doctor has given talks at EDS conferences, so we know he knows what's up. And the exciting thing is he spends 4 hours with you and goes through your body from top to bottom. bad news, it costs $1,500. But you know, at least he spends the 4 hours. So if he orders the ERCP in Rhode Island, I'll have to pay out of pocket for that, which is anywhere from 5 to 10 grand. But I just rather put all that on a credit card, and then I have no more issues. I can pay off that credit card because I will be feeling good. So I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks, and then I will tell you guys all about it. As always, thank you for joining me, Chronics, and remember, stay strong, hang in there, and don't take crap from anyone. I will see you next time.